Or if you are somebody who is planning to move to the UK, or you are already living in the UK, you do not have British citizen yet, this video is a must watch for you. Currently in the UK, you have to live in the country for 5 years if you are on a work visa before you will be able to apply for indefinite leave to remain, that is permanent resident. And 1 year later, you will be able to apply for British passport. If you are married to a British citizen, you will be able to apply for indefinite leave to remain after 3 years. And once you have your indefinite leave to remain, you will be able to apply for British passport. There is going to be a big change. There could be a big change on the way, which could affect your ability and the time that you have to live in the UK before you will be able to apply for British passport. So this video that I'm sharing with you today is the latest update. Make sure you share the video with anyone that you know who lives in the UK, who is planning to apply for British citizen, or anyone who is planning to move here, because this information is the key. Now, the UK government is due to present what they call the Amendment Nationality and Border Bill. That bill was first passed when Boris Johnson was the Prime Minister. The bill was passed because the government wanted to make it harder for certain people, British government, to be able to strip your citizenship. So if you have British passport in the past, the process that the government has to take before they revoke your citizenship, it used to be very, very hard. They used to have to go to court, and the period takes a lot of time. Boris Johnson and Priti Patel, who was the then Home Secretary, they wanted to make it easier for the government to be able to strip people, especially those with terrorism link, of British passport. That is why they passed that bill. Now, the current Labour government has looked at that bill, and they have now decided that there is going to be an amendment to that bill, and this is the big update that could affect thousands and a lot of immigrants. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. This is the Launch Club, where we bring the latest updates so that our people can use this information to plan. Information and knowledge are the two most important things when it comes to legal migration. On this platform, we always bring the latest update about migration, and we talk about the lived experiences of immigrants so that lessons can be learned. So the UK government, what they are proposing is that this is being spearheaded by the opposition party in Britain. If you have been following the recent development in the UK, we have seen the rise of Reform. Reform is a political party that is led by Nigel Farage. That party, the recent opinion poll that was done last week shows that that party, if there is an election today in the UK, that party may come first. That party is popular for one thing. Is a political party that is based on reducing migration in the UK. Everything they stand for, it's about reducing the level of migration in the UK. The party started as a joke party. People never used to take them seriously. But as we speak today, that party is now number one on the poll, according to most experts. So that report has sent shockwave and panic alarm to the political establishment in the UK. So in response to that opinion poll, all the political parties in the UK right now, what they are all focus about is how to reduce migration. That is what they are now talking about. They all want to be seen to be tougher than this Reform Party. So nobody is talking about anything today in the UK political discourse. Everybody is now talking about reducing migration. So if you are one of those immigrants who have had British passport for a long time, who have had indefinite leave to remain, and you say, oh, I don't want to apply for British passport. That is fine. But I'm giving you the information now so that you can know what is going on, so that you can use that information to make an informed decision. The choice is yours. Okay. So what the government is now, what the government is, what the discourse in Britain today is that currently there's a debate going on in the Britain that instead of people getting British passport after 6 years of living in the country, or after 3 years if you're married to a British citizen, there are plans which is being led by no other person by Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the Conservative Party, whose parents came to the UK, gave birth to her in the UK. She is now the one that is now proposing that immigrants will have to live in the UK for 15 years. For 15 years. Remember, currently it's only 5 years. You live in the country 5 years, you get indefinite leave to remain if you're legal. And whilst you are in the UK, you will not be able to claim benefit until you have indefinite leave to remain. What Kemi is now proposing is that the government should make it harder, that immigrants should live in the country for 15 years before they will be able to apply for indefinite leave to remain. And they can only apply for indefinite leave to remain if they haven't got any criminal record, which I support that, and they will not be able to claim any benefit. So if you're in the UK and you have no recourse to public fund on your visa, and you later ask for it to be removed for any reason, what they are saying is that with this change that they are discussing, that if you claim any benefit in the UK, you don't have. Meanwhile, immigrants in the UK, you have what we call no recourse to public fund. That means that you will not be able to claim benefit in the UK until you have indefinite leave to remain. Don't forget to give this video a like, because information is power. What they are now saying in the UK is that if you claim benefit before you get indefinite leave to remain, automatically that means that you cannot apply for British passport. The moment you are convicted for any crime, such as drink driving, if you are convicted for things like drink driving and you haven't got your British passport, just forget it. What they are saying is that if you have any criminal conviction, you will not be able to get your British passport. Kemi Badenoch, she described the current system as a conveyor belt. She is saying that a lot of immigrants come into the country after 5 years, they get indefinite leave to remain. After 1 year later, they get British passport. If they are married to British citizen, after 3 years, they get British citizenship. That system is not tough enough. Let me know in the comment section whether you agree with this proposal. Do you think that this proposal is good? Because what they are saying is that 15 years, they want to increase it from the current 5 years to 15 years, which means that you must be in the country for 15 years before you'll be able to go to school, before you'll be able to get your British passport, and before you will be able to enjoy the benefit of citizenship. So again, I repeat, there are lots of people from Black and minority background who have lived in this country for many years, who for one or two reasons, they choose not to apply for British passport. That is good, but I'm telling you that the government is thinking about backdating the law, that the nationality bill, which is going to the House of Parliament, they're thinking of backdating it to 2021, which means that if it's done, a lot of immigrants from our community are going to be affected by this development. So if you know anyone who currently lives in the UK, who hasn't applied for British citizenship, who is due one, share this video with them. It is their choice whether they apply or not, but at least let them have the information so that they can decide whether they want to use it to apply or not. 15 years, that is what is being proposed, that you must live in the UK for 15 years before you will be able to apply for British passport, compared to now where it is only 5 years. Anyone that has criminal record, you can apply. Things like drunk driving, if you have it, forget about British passport. And the moment you claim any benefit before you get your indefinite leave to remain, mind you, the issue of benefit, the government report shows that most immigrants, they do not apply for benefit until they get indefinite leave to remain, because in the last, according to the government data, only 2,500 immigrants have successfully removed no recourse to public fund, which is something that is stick on your visa, on your passport. When you apply as an immigrant, you have your work permit, it is stated there that you cannot claim benefit. So the issue of benefit, a lot of immigrants are not coming to the UK to claim benefit. They are coming to the UK for the opportunities that the country provide them, such as the opportunity for their children to go to school, the opportunity to live in a country, a peaceful country. These are the things that attract a lot of immigrants to the UK, not benefit. So those of you who says, I don't care, I have indefinitely to remain, I don't want to apply for British passport, that is fine. But all I am telling you today is that in the next few years or months, there's going to be big changes. So don't say, oh, nobody told you about this. The Lunch Club is bringing you this update now. And if you know anyone who is planning to move to the UK, make sure they see this video. Anyone that lives in the UK who is planning to apply for indefinite leave to remain or citizenship, make them see this video, because information and knowledge, that is the power. And that is the difference between those that will succeed and those that won't succeed. Let me know whether you think it's a good idea for the government to increase the years that immigrants will have to live in the UK from the current 5 years if you are on a work visa before you can apply for indefinite leave to remain. They want to change it to 15 years. Do you think that this is good? Let me know. Share this information with anyone that you know who lives in the UK, because information and knowledge, that is different between success and failure.